Hey, I just wanted to come through and thank everybody for all the nice comments. I recognize all the names. I know who you are, and I love it. I love it. It just adds to my life. It really does. Um, we cheated today. Hey, Nina found this cabinet. I'll put a picture of it. I'll do a screenshot. Put a picture of it. We drove over Mountain City to get it. Anyway, while I was over there, we cheated. And then I ate the crazy bread. She gave me these. She said, take them in there so I could just heat up. I'm having a terrible, terrible, terrible time with my mobility today. But I've had a great day. I've had a wonderful day. Every day, listen, every day is emotional. When you, especially, when I say, well, I guess anybody, but when you're dealing with chronic, unmanageable, nothing you can do about it but suffer intolerated pain. And, like I miss my little girl, and my little boy. You've got that weighing on you every day. I asked myself years ago, I asked a girlfriend of mine, she lost a child about 10 years ago. She's never been the same since. But she survived it, but it just has taken such a toll. Matter of fact, she lost her son and her husband of 42 years in about 10 months. Too much on a person. Too much. Too much. And for me, it's been too much too. And I told Helen one day, I said, how can a heart keep beating when it's so broken? How can you keep living? Because, there's times that you don't want to, especially in the beginning. But and life can become so hard. I remember being a single parent and no family. I've got family, but they're not worth a damn. And a lot of my family has money. They really do. Yeah. Anyway, I just remember being so tired and exhausted just to grind. But what I give, to go back one more day, you deal with that. You hear my kitty cat's new collars? Um, and it does. It's taking a toll on my health, really. I think on my heart especially. I don't blame it all on that. I blame COVID for the biggest part of the issues with my heart. But my daughter's not helped a thing. But I miss her. She's my little girl. And it's going on 7 years now. She's 24. I raised her 17 and a half years. Didn't even mean to get onto that. Switch gears with me. When you deal with pain like that, and like rheumatoid arthritis, and you've got heartbreak, and you can't work anymore. You can't get a job. I can't, go waitress anymore or drive a truck. Maybe I could drive a truck. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how to get up and down off of it, and I have to pee a lot taking the Lasix, so it's not a good idea for me to drive a truck. My legs swell, dangling. I was getting to the point I was having to pull the air brake on the dump truck because I was 70,000 pounds loaded. And I was at a red light, and I could just feel myself I was having to hold my eyes open, waiting for the light to change. My legs looked like elephant legs. They were so full of fluid. And I went to the emergency room. It was Saturday. It was a Saturday, and I remember having to work that overtime, even in the shape that I was in, and just about half died because I had to make a house payment on the brick house that I sold and paid this house off that he's up there living in, saying, "You didn't pay for it." Yeah, I did, and we're going to court. Yeah, I did. But anyway, you can't just go work anymore. You can't. You can't. There's no need to feel bad about it. I've put up with it so long I don't even worry about things like that. I work what I can, and I work as I can when I can, which is what me and Nina were doing today. She found this cabinet. I did not get up until about 12:30. And my landlord called me, and we was on the phone for like 2 hours talking. Thank God. Kind of helps me come to. The morning times is the most dangerous time for me, emotionally, because I'm in a lot of pain. And I just, it would be so nice if my little daughter would just stop and see me. And, like me and Nina were talking, her daughter's grown and gone, married, got a baby, doing great. But she said, just to hand you a drink out of the fridge, and somebody care about you. And so morning times are rough. So I called Deborah a lot of the time in the morning, and she called me this morning, and we was talking. And then Nina is buying this table on Marketplace. She got this Pier 1 little cabinet with 2 little doors that open in the bottom, table on top, just cute little cabinet. And I said, Nina, that's a $50 cabinet. You can get $50 out of that. She might get more out of it. I don't know. Rip that Pier 1 sticker on it and put $125. Put it in your antique booth, just put $125 on it. It's pretty little, it's a nice little table. And so, anyway, but it would be, put 50, take 40. That way they try to Jew you a little bit, you make $30, at $10 for the table, and we went over there, and of course she's already in the hole on it because she's the one that fed us. So, but anyway, so she found this little table. So Mountain City is, oh Lord, within about 10 minutes of leaving my house, you cross over into Tennessee. And it's called Laurel Bloomery. There's Damascus, and then the Laurel Bloomery, Tennessee, and then Mountain City. Just a few minutes away. It's not that far. I'd say about a 30-minute drive, Nice little drive. And then I've got these lamps I need to fix. I've got these lamps, and poor Nina, she just went into $1 store after another. She looked everywhere. What I need is a white plastic, like, folder. Like, you open it up and you put your papers, one side paper and the other side, the white plastic, because I've got these lamps that I need to fix. They're vintage, and they light up in the bottom, and the plastic in the bottom is just brown. It's just yellow, discolored. Probably smoking, or, it could be from the heat from the bulb, too, or both. And so these lamps, I paid I give like $35 for them, and I could easy put them on eBay for easy $250. Of course, you're going to have a lot of fees out of that. $250, and the buyer pay the ship. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I do. I do that. I flip things, and I do cemetery arrangements. I do a lot of things, and I still do. I crochet. I do that for fun. But I just had a great day. And I couldn't walk. I barely got dressed. And I got dressed, and I got these new tops at Rose's, And it's like, you really don't need to be spending the money, but you've got to do something nice for yourself. If you can. And so I bought the cutest little tops. And I put one of those tops on, and skirt, and my little flats, and off we went to Mountain City. And just and we got rain today, and over in Mountain City, you're up in the mountains, and it's fog and rain. It was just a nice day. The temperatures are mild. I've got the front door open right now, and so I got to reading the comments, and I just really appreciate them. It just adds to my life. It makes my life better. Money, and people are saying, I hope your channel does good and all this. Money's always great. Money's wonderful. I don't want to say it in a bragging way because I don't have money, but I got the money covered. I'm okay on money. I don't have, I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't worry about money. I don't let money worry me either. Let me tell you, I don't let money worry me. And don't get me wrong, it does. Oh, yes, it matters. But I don't let it worry me. If I get to where I need money for something or something unexpected, I just start selling some shit. You know what I mean? I've always got shit I can sell. Excuse my language. Bear with me. Don't let you knee jerk. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm talking money. People call it business. I call it money. I don't call it business. I call it money. My money. So, and believe me, I'd be way better off if I'd never got married at all. I would, really. And I'm fixing to be because I'm getting divorced. I hear something. But we went over and back, and this is a Appalachian Trail hiking town, Damascus is. And we have a lot of old houses, buildings. I live in Abingdon. Abingdon's, it has the Appalachian Trail going through it too. We're right here on the Appalachian Trail in Virginia. A lot of hippies. A lot of hippies down in there. Somebody was talking about smoking pot. Now listen here. Whatever you do is your business. She wasn't talking about her smoking pot. She's talking about, well, I guess she was. But it was like when she was young, well, my God, everybody did. Everybody tried it. Or most everybody did. And if you didn't try it, praise God. I'm so glad. But, I said, my comment was, I don't, it was just one of the random comments, and it just made me laugh. I'm not voicing opinions. I'm just, I'm not scratching for no fight. And I never, ever, ever, ever am going to, I worship the Lord and the Lord only, Jesus of Galilee. And as far as whatever your political views are, anything in your life, I don't want to talk about them here. That's not who we are. That's what we do. How we vote is what we do. But what I'm saying is, whether it's marijuana, it's politics, it's if you like to have a little toddy or a drink at the end of the long day, if it warms up your bones, helps you sleep, that's great. But I always preferred, and this is what I said to her, I said, no, I'm good with pot. I always preferred the men in my family stoned, not drinking. And I didn't smoke pot. But I was, they were nicer. I mean, they were just, there's just really, the men in my family, just a bunch of assholes, and so they would, if they were high, they were not so unkind, So I always looked at marijuana as, I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to look or act like them. But I didn't feel, now drinking, drinking's a problem. Can be a bad problem. But marijuana, the worst thing marijuana do is knock you out of a job. And I always had to pass drug tests. Driving school buses, driving dump trucks, things like that, just jobs I had, I always had to pass drug tests, and did. And so, but I don't judge people about that. If you need something at the end of the day, take the edge off, that's your business, not mine. You ain't gonna be judged here, is what I'm saying to you. I don't care what you do like that. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care how many times you've been married. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what color you are. I don't care. I don't care if you speak 3 languages. I don't care. I care about people's hearts. And that's how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to love people. Yeah. And as far as the judging goes, or what's right, what's wrong, that's for the good Lord, not me. That's my only. I don't fool with people that don't love the Lord. I do think they need help, but it's not my place. I feel that maybe more so a man's place to deal with people like that. That's my only thing. I don't have nobody that disrespects the Lord around me, and that includes anywhere I'm at. But that's the only standard I pretty much set for myself. And I just had a great day. And I just say to you, if you're, it's hard. It's hard as we suffer and as we deal with these health issues. Just try to find something, maybe like crochet or going for a ride with a friend. Get you some fresh air, walk outside on the porch. Make you a cup of hot cider or hot coffee, and I'm going to try that beer batter maybe one day. Get me a can of beer and try breading my stuff with it. I like to watch Bruce Mitchell. He cooks. He's one of them swamp people on TV. I've had TV show Swamp People. I never did watched it a few times. I like Swamp People. But I like Bruce Mitchell. I like to watch him cook. I think him and his wife is just the sweetest people. They're just warm my heart, and he's always making something good to eat. Something easy. People that know how to cook usually know how to cook because they growed up having to cook. I know how to make food taste good because I had to cook for myself a lot. And I've gotten compliments all day long on my nails. And I always tell people, go get you some I always tell them it's just the dollar store nails. But I got these. If you'll go to CVS or Walgreens, they're the ones with the pretty nails. That's where I find my nails. Now, yeah, CVS, Walgreens. I think these come from Walgreens and the next ones come from CVS. But anyway, and I use Gorilla Glue gel, get the gel, so it don't run all over anywhere. And I will. Nina was telling me today, you need to do a video, because she watched the mushroom thing. She said, you need to do a video on your nails. I said, I'm going to. I'm going to. And, look, and another thing. Right now, I've got my desk set up. I got the computer there. I've got everything hooked up. I bought the extension cord, and I bought the adapter to put the 3-prong into the 2-prong. I bought that. I bought the batteries. I bought the extension cord yesterday. I will get that done. It might take me 2 weeks, but I will get that done because I've got a lot of things that I need to list online. They need to be sold online. They're things that'll really bring money. They're good things. So, I told Nina today, it might take me 2 or 3 weeks. It might take me 2 or 3 months. Whatever, it don't matter. I'm home. You're home. You're home. You enjoy yourself. And don't be so hard on yourself. And don't set your goals so high and your expectations of yourself so high. Would you expect that of somebody you loved, your daughter or your mother? No. Why do you expect that of yourself? I'm preaching to the choir. I'm the same way. I'm just saying, don't do what I do. Don't do what I do, please. Because I get real flustered sometimes, But then I have to remember, hey, And I mean, I can really walk around moping, feeling sorry for myself. On top of worrying about your daughter, your mother too, my grandson. On top of that, you got to move 5 times in 2 years to get here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. 5 moving trips to get right here. Also, he could lay drunk up there at my paid-for home that I paid off. I'll take credit for that. And while he was making the payments on that place, I was making the payments on the brick house. And they were both in his name. And that's just fact. He bought the house I was renting to just like to get control. Yeah. Well, he ain't got no control now. And he don't even matter. He ain't even the father to my child or my grandchild. But then there's aggravation that and think, golly, I'm living in a camper. I ain't got no room here. I've got all of my yarn. I bet you a dime to a dollar. I've got about $15,000 worth of yarn. I don't know. I've been buying yarn for years, and I ain't even going to talk about other things, but all these things you work so hard to have, and just to be able to, I should be able to go over there and pull a color. I don't even know where it's at, which box it's in. There's lots of things that you can let yourself get upset about. Be grateful for what you've got and thank the good Lord, and be a good steward. Do best you can. Wash up your 4 dishes and pet this old mangy cat here. And my wrists won't work today. It's my wrist too. Hey baby. Hi honey. But just enjoy your home. Enjoy your life. It's all you've got. And life is the Lord. So, just my baby. Oh, my baby. See if you can see her. It's my baby, ain't you, honey? I know. She's so soft. And when you pet her, see her white hair? She's as white as cotton underneath. Them claws is rough, son. Cat Daddy here. This is Cat Daddy. The other one's Bobby. Bobby ain't got no tail. Bobby's darker. Where you at? Just enjoy the little things. When I see these cats, when they started coming here, when I moved in here, this one wouldn't let me touch it for about 2 or 3 months. So I would just speak to it as I walked by, getting out of my vehicle, coming home from the store. At the store then. And anyway, I had the porch finished, and the day the roof went on, they showed up. And here they are. And Miguel, the guy that done my work outside, my porch, my underpin, and my gravel, everything, he had to stop by. I had a water leak, and he said, they're so fat. And Abel said, Mitzi, your cats are getting fat. And but when I look at them from the shape that they were in, and scared, they bolted. And on top of that, I mean, just the look of terror and just, they're not like that anymore. And when I see them just relax and just lay there, not afraid of a thing, it makes my heart happy. It always feels good to do something to help somebody. I'm going to go. I've run my mouth 24 minutes, 27 seconds. I'm going to let you go. The day the Lord's made. Rise, kill, and eat. If you don't, you won't last long. And don't forget, I told you so, but don't forget, Jesus told you first.